Good morning, ladies and gents. Welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. You know what? By the time the video uploads, it'll probably be good afternoon. Anyways, let's get right into it. Market melt up. Congrats to the bulls. Now, unfortunately, I was away last week, so I missed majority of the bull move. One thing you'll find in our channel is we're not gonna lie about what's profitable and what we made on profit, what we didn't. We're just gonna be straight up with you. So, because I was away on last week on vacation, was unable to. I think the day that I left was somewhere here on the market bull break. Anyways, market extreme bull right now. Now, the one thing we're gonna take a look at is it has surpassed the 1 to 2 extension target, now forming a potential shooting star. One thing I wanted to take a look at is where the Bollinger Bands are at. So this is the third deviation, and we will, and this is the Bollinger Band. So it looks like we touched the Bollinger Band, it continued grinding up. Doesn't look like to be grinding along that Bollinger Band, so there is potential for further room to run. Now what I'm thinking on this, due to the size of the run so far since the GP that we talked about. Now, for those of you that missed the video, we talked about how we're seeing a bounce from the GP, and if it does break over this upper trend line, the chances of 4,200 is completely diminished. Very, very unlikely, and we will likely see a run into the bull market. And we did see a run so far, 9% from that GP. What I'm thinking from here, because of the size of the run and the immediate back test of the previous high, we did miss it by a little bit. So previous all-time high was 45.51, back test was at 45.53, so we did not get a complete back test and exact back test. That means what I'm thinking for potential is a blow off top. Okay, and what the blow off top means is we're gonna see continued running, overbought. We're not even on the overbought on the daily yet. I believe we are on the 8 hours. Yeah, just got to the 8 hour overbought, and we saw a little bit of rejection, spinning top candle. 4 hours has been overbought for some time already. So once the daily gets to overbought, that is gonna be where the real concern comes in. If we were to reject from here now, there is a concern of weekly bear divergence. Meaning, if we were to reject from here, we could see some real significant downside coming in. But we're going to have to first watch for the reaction at this previous all-time high. So, with that being said, play with the trend until it ends. We haven't said that in quite a while, and the trend is obviously bullish. So right now, 8 hour 8 remains the guide until the 8 hour 8 is broken down under with a follow through. So the last time we broke down under, there was no follow through. It started getting bought up, and that's why we saw continued buying from there. With 8 hour 8 broken down and a follow through, that is going to be the clear signal that the bears are in control. Alright, so that's SPX. I believe NAS is going to be the same, so let's take a look. NAS, similar idea, spinning top candle, potential reversal, but we're going to have to see what Monday, Tuesday brings us. 8 hour 8 remains the guide as well on NAS. Broke down under, immediately bought up, and bounced from the 8 hour 8, so it's a very clear support. We're back up above that trend line, where it has been support, three supports, immediate back test before a rejection. So we're going to have to see what this looks like from here. I don't have an extension target on this yet, because seems like not too many are presenting to be a real resistance. As the way it stands, 1 to 3 extension target is just up ahead. So we're using this low to the high to the higher low. 1 to 3 extension target, 16,500. So we're going to try to keep the market part of this video a little bit shorter, because there is quite a bit of tickers I wanted to go through. Dow's a very clear rejection, bounce from the key zone, and we broke over that very key trend line into new all-time high. Now on this, sorry, this is not Dow, this is Russ. On the Russ chart, what I'm be looking at is once that higher low comes in, I will be playing Russ. Now, thought about an entry here but because missed this whole run over here, so it was a little bit hesitant and ended up missing it. A little bit sad, you know. It's one of the first days coming back. I came back, actually it is the first day I came back. November 1st was the day I came back and saw the break and wanted to take it slow, so did not enter this. Oh, that was sad moment. So let's just take a look. November 1st, and it was when did we break? Been a while, hey. 7:30, right at the morning. Why is this a dashed line? Should be a solid line. Huh, interesting. Anyways, okay, let's take a look. 7:30. Nope. November 1st. 7:30. Yeah, so it is right here. So let's say you bought the break of that trend line. Right now it's up 15% already, and this is the Russ Bulls 3 times leveraged ETF. So it's I don't know if it's relatively safe, but it is a little bit more conservative versus calls, puts, or even individual ticker names. And this is one of my babies, you know, TNA, TZA. I love playing these two ETFs. Regardless, so that's Russ. Let's watch for that daily higher low. We'll be making an entry on it. We are a little bit extended on the daily. We're not overbought on the daily yet either. So most of the market looks the same. Dows continue to run. Upper wick forming. Lack of bear pressure. So we could see overall on the market, we could see continuation until a blow off top. It is going to be one of those times that's going to be a little bit harder to determine where the top might be coming in at. And it'll be a little bit more clear picture once we start seeing some sort of reversal. Now, one thing we could look at is the longer term, which is from this low to the high to the higher low. The 1-to-1 extension target is at 47.87. So there is a chance that the market continues to run until 47.87 before an actual rejection. Okay. 1-to-1 extension, yeah, that's right. So 1-to-1 extension, 47.87. That is key to note. Okay, and let's take a quick look at the rest of the indicators. US dollars made new highs and immediate rejection. Potential reversal candle. Nothing concerning yet. Okay, US 10 years. This is very significant. We did break down under that key trend line again, where we saw multiple supports, resistances, and now we're trading under it again. This is a leading indicator, and I do believe that shows market could potentially be reversing from there. Where the GP came in, that's where the, is this right? August 20th, October 13th. Okay, so a month and some ahead. You know, if we were to put, let's add the SPX chart up here. So this May 12th, September, I guess it just depends on how you look at it, dropped. So this was a significant drop ahead of the market, and this was the significant drop, and then the GP bounce, and this was the GP bounce here. So it could be another month or two out before market starts pulling back, which would make sense. Generally, market is extremely strong in November, December, the time of the year for the bulls. All right. Let's take a look at VIX. I kind of like where the VIX at. No, it's at the lows. It's looking like a potential daily reversal. So I really like where the VIX is at. Wedge doesn't work that well anymore. We could probably use a new wedge. Looks like a lot of chop around the wedge trend lines. but you sort of get the idea. You know, it's not gonna go too far away from those trend lines, meaning we could be seeing a bottom here. $15 seem to be holding very well. Lots of wicks around it. Hasn't traded under. So when we do start trading under $15 on VIX, that is gonna be a real concern. Gold. Oh, there it goes. Gold is starting to pop. Starting its move again. 1, 2. There could be a good trade in gold right here. Daily trend reversal. We're going to need to break that 1834 for a daily trend reversal confirmation. So higher high, higher low, lower high, and this was a wedge. And now we're starting to see a move on gold. Bitcoin, weekly bull flag still going. Still going to take another week or two before a confirmation of which way it's going to go, which direction it's going to take. All right, so let's get into the hottest tickers. First one, Tesla. We cannot take our eyes off of Tesla. Right now is potential for a daily bull flag formation or even a weekly bull flag formation. It's could go sideways for quite some time, but this chart shows potential for further running. Look at the volume, decreasing low bear volume. Indecision candles. We'll be keeping a very close eye on Tesla. There could be one more extended run before a rejection coming back down, just like the market. So watch for reaction around that daily 8 touch. And the next is Amazon. Amazon is seeing some real nice move over the last 3 days. One of the moves I missed again, in the sense that, you know, was looking at potentially getting leap year on this for the potential of daily trend reversal. It is a daily, what is this, higher low. So we talked about this GP hold. Okay, we talked about this GP hold, the double wolf pattern, breakdown, fake out, breakout, fake out, and then the GP. This is gonna be this looking like is very likely gonna be the low from here. Now if we're to break into a new all-time high, that is gonna be it. So keep your eyes on Amazon. Double wolf pattern working out very well. The GP hold, double bottom as well. It's 31.75, 31.76, and we are seeing a daily higher high from here. Now let's see, there is some selling pressure that's coming in, but regardless, I think over the next little while into the end of the year, we should see new all-time high on Amazon. It took a lot longer than expected for the pattern to work out. Breakdown, fake out, breakout, fake out, and GP. It ended up wanting to touch the GP twice and forming a double bottom before an actual move. But Amazon is looking amazing for that big move coming up. Next is Airbnb. Airbnb, it's on the break on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday's break of this double top, 176, 177. That was the gold signal, and then earnings confirmed it. It was a gap up and continuation. So let's say if you bought the break, which is 177. That's already up 14%. And if you look at this trend line has been holding this whole time. How do we do this? Can probably draw a little bit better. I still like it here. You know, it did have some wicks under. But regardless, Amazon is looking at new all-time high coming up. The earnings is a huge surprise, 68.8% surprise. Earnings of 1.22 versus the estimate of 0.72. So you can see new all-time high coming up on Airbnb, but the little bit of a concern is the gap that's left behind. Volume looks amazing. No real concerns on Airbnb. Okay, next is Air Canada. Now, Air Canada had its key break on Friday. Continuation, we saw this. We thought about potentially a pop from here, but it wanted to go a little bit more sideways, more bearish before the actual pop. So looking like it's gonna be over here instead. Now, if this is going to be the move is going to be a whole lot bigger, because we're going to be looking at same idea as back here. We're going to be looking at the touch of that upper trend line, long-term sideways, slight bearish consolidation before an actual move, and now we're seeing a confirmation of the break of the trend line. Tomorrow, Monday, we're going to want to see that follow through, take us a little bit further away from that trend line before coming back down to back test. Air Canada reopenings, I guess overall is the majority of the reopenings. Airbnb, Air Canada, RCL, and we're gonna actually, let's take a look at RCL as well. Key break as well, key upper trend line. We're seeing a break over here, so it did have a breakdown, fake out of this short-term trend line, and now we're seeing a gap up and buying. There's gonna be a new pattern that's gonna be formed here, and there's potential for a new channel just below this previous channel to form. And if that's the case, what it's going to look like, it's going to be potentially something like that. So we're going to have to keep watch on RCL. It's not something that I personally would be playing, just because there's a lot of other names to play out there, and I could be playing this, but it is, regardless, it is a key break on Friday. Same idea, we're going to need to see that follow through on Monday before coming back for a back test. There is same idea as Airbnb. Slight concern of the gap that's left behind, because gaps are going to get filled eventually, generally. Looking at this one didn't get filled. Yeah, it never came back to gap fill this one. So it could be like this, we see continuation before coming back to try to gap fill, and then another leg up. So something potential similar. All right, so that's it for the hottest tickers. Next are the requested tickers. First one is going to be CAR. Woo! This was fun to play. Did a couple scalps, I believe, on Tuesday, and look at this move. $223% at one point, before topping out at the high of 545.11. Still an inside bar. So it's looking like potential for reversal, but ultimately it's still inside bar, and we did not touch the 88 yet. So I will give it a little bit more time. Tomorrow, let's see if we get another inside bar tomorrow. Then that could potentially be the entry. But CAR, we're gonna have to keep an eye on it over next couple days at least. I think it looks better. Yeah. Okay. Let me pull this chart up here. All right, so it's going to be on one of my top 16 charts. Cars. Ooh, there's potential. Because, so the reason this is not a meme stock, it's not a squeeze, it's the company size is 16.8 billion now after this run. And it is a fundamental change more so. They are doing shares buyback. It's a price of earnings. Also, it's a price of 56%. The other one we gotta watch on that same story is BBBY. Ooh, this one, it's kind of sad. Took it easy on Friday. The bad day to take it easy. It's $18, $18.80 was the price I was looking at to enter, and missed it. It ran 27%, so it's a very similar idea. There's shares buyback, and we are seeing potential for continuation. I wanted to see ultimately at least a touch of that 88 as well as GP kind of thing, but it started running beforehand, so we're gonna have to watch BBBY as well for that shares buyback continuation. Two of the top stocks to be watching next week. Let's see what else is there. So that's a first requested ticker, CAR. Next is Lucid. And in case you're wondering, these requested tickers are coming from our 24/7 chat room, trading chat room members requests. All right, Lucid. Woo! This new high? It is new high. Wow, look at this run. So this is a fundamental change on this name as well. And last time we talked about it, I did say new all-time high is to be expected. It's just a matter of time. We might come back to back test this, but it looked like it ended up being a daily bull flag before the confirmation. Congrats to Wing. I think you sold somewhere here and then rebought this day. Wow, nail the top, nail the bottom. Cannot get any better. Congrats, Wings. This has been an amazing trade for you so far. And we're going into that gap fill territory very soon. Once we break over this $44, we will be looking at a gap fill all the way to 50. Wow. So I am in this personally as well. Long-term trade, not looking to go in and out. We'll be adding to the position, but with the way it stands, it could actually be a very good add right now. Even though it looks a little bit extended, actually it looks extended on daily. It is overbought on the daily as well. Earnings is coming up on December 1st. Confirmed earnings on December 1st. And what's funny is when I was in Vancouver for my vacation, I saw Lucid's storefront, brick and mortar storefront. It looked shiny and amazing. So looking at it, makes me want to buy a little bit more of the stock, but gonna hold back a little bit. I want to see where the chart goes. Monday, we're gonna want to see confirmation, continuation for confirming this bull flag. We did close above the high of the rejection. And this is looking like a very strong close near that high of the day with volume. Monday should see continuation. It will be somewhat of a red flag if we gap down and do not see buying up, or if we see gap up and immediate selling off. There is a resistance at 44, so let's watch for reaction around there. Next is BLDP. Okay, this chart actually looked kind of interesting. Daily trend reversal. So daily lower low, lower high, higher low, higher high now. Daily trend reversal confirmed. And we're gonna do this. No, that's from back then. So GP is just above that key zone. And we're seeing a back test right now too. I like it. BLDP. When was the last time we traded this? I think it was somewhere around here the last time we traded it. So it did come back down to that low part of the key zone, double bottom, 1280, 1278. Wow. Amazing double bottom. And from here, a move all the way up to that lower part of the key zone before a rejection. And then now we're seeing a daily bull flag formation, back test of that previous resistance. Earnings tomorrow. Yeah, earnings tomorrow. I probably watch for what happens after their earnings. So earnings, we're going to want to hold this previous high. This previous resistance around 1738, 17 to 1738 area. And if we see a hold of there, regardless, it is the daily trend reversal. I would anticipate further upside to come. Meaning, if we were to back test, whether it's going to be here or ultimately at the low of 1665, a back test over there, because there's also resistance over here that we saw. So anticipation, regardless, would be somewhere around here before an actual move up. So that's BLDP. Next one is PLTR. Slow grind up. Oh, oh, yeah, okay, I remember nailing the top on this one. So we sold over here, bought over here, sold again over here. It's me and Kwanzaa that we were trading this, and haven't looked at it ever since, actually. I think I have a long entry somewhere down here, 30, 20, 2380, I think it was. Yeah, that makes sense. The GP 23 and 80. That's my last long entry, and still holding it. So looking at this chart, it is a slow grind up. The 88 is serving as the support and looking a little bit weak now. We don't want to hold this area most ideal alongside the 88. Earnings potentially is coming up. It's not confirmed, but it is showing August 12th. So that could be the catalyst that's needed. There's a lot of lines in here. This one doesn't seem to have too much reaction. Neither does this one. I would have anticipated this 27.45 to have some sort of reaction, but we just blew past it, made a double top and coming back down. That's kind of interesting. It seems like it's not respecting fibs or technical analysis as much recently, so gonna have to be a little bit more careful trading on this stock. Doesn't apply. This one doesn't apply anymore. Ultimately, I do believe the target is still going to be up here at about 31, where that 0.5 fib retracement, as well as where's this 1-to-1 extension coming from? Oh, from back here. Low to the higher low. Might have to draw a new one here now, actually. So if we were to do low, high, higher low, change it to the 1-to-1 extension target. Okay, so it's still somewhere around that $31. I do believe that is ultimately where we're going to be going by this earnings. We're going to have to watch what's going on here. If the earnings, so there's a potential for this being the lower high now, which would not be good, because there's a potential if that is going to be the lower high, this is going to be the neckline to break of the head and shoulders pattern. So let's set an alert on this. We do not want to lose I wouldn't want to lose 25. Very clear support reactions. So if we do get there, I do not want to lose this area. Okay, support somewhere around here, support here again before a big bounce up. Multiple rejections around here. Slight wick over and then reject again. Lots of rejections around here. And then kind of chopped around. Another rejection here, multiple rejections here. So 25 is going to be very key to hold on PLTR. Right, next is NVDA. NVIDIA. Looking like a potential reversal here. Chopstick tops. Not a shooting star or anything. So tomorrow is going to be very key. If we were to see bear pressure coming in tomorrow, I would anticipate this to be a reversal confirmation going into earnings. We are overbought on the daily. Huge shooting up on Thursday. Way overbought on the daily. It is 87. RSI is at 87.63 as of the close on Friday. So if this is going to be a reversal, I would anticipate ideally for re-entry would be a back test of this previous triple top. But there is a potential trend line, short-term trend line here. Rejection. So let's draw this better. Right here. Yeah, so there is a potential short-term trend line here. We could see a backtest of this trend line before another leg up, just depending on how strong the chart is, which, by the way, looks very strong to me. Earnings is coming up on November 17th. There's lots of supports down there. So there's going to be a support on this trend line. There's going to be a support over this on this key zone triple top. And then there's going to be another support right underneath on this trend line, which is rejection, support, 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 support. Very key trend line. And then even after that, there's going to be another key trend line as well. Yeah. But this is going to be the key trend line to hold. So anticipation. I would want to see a reaction here, and then probably a lower high before a back test kind of thing. But we're gonna have to watch what happens, what the bounce looks like on this trend line. All right, so that's NVDA. Next is coin. Okay, so it's still taking, taking a little bit longer, but it is looking like we are having trouble with that GP. We are having trouble with that previous, that single resistance over there. So nothing changed on coin yet. Let's take a look at AVPT. So that's it for the request tickers. Let's take a look at the other tickers. AVPT looking like a daily trend reversal, lower low. Did not get to that lower trend line of the channel, which is good. Relative strength. Lower low, lower high, higher low, higher high. So daily trend reversal. It's not very clear to me, but it could be a daily trend reversal. That's confirmed, but we're gonna have to see on here, this lower wick. That would be most ideal from here for Monday to go through reverse back up. Because if you look at this, so previous two rejections, and since the move is just starting, we want to see a short-term immediate back test and then see the real move coming in. So if I were to set an alert on this, I would set it. There's not a very clear area for a rejection. That 958 triple top 958. Wow. Yeah, so if I were to set, oh, actually I have an alert on this. So let's delete this actually. Delete. Let's set a new one because they do expire, so it's kind of annoying. We'll set an alert 959 and then set an alert underneath here. So this is going to be the pocket that whichever direction it breaks, it should show clear momentum of either direction. If we're to break under, that's going to be a major red flag. If we're to, and I would anticipate we're going to break over that 958. Most ideal back test continuation. 1020 is going to be the next target kind of thing. So anticipation, I want to see that. Okay, not in the trade, you know, just perspective. Next is SOFI. Nice wedge break, nice continuation. Now I want to see that back test and the go. So most ideal. Wait, is this right? Is this updated? No, it is not. Okay, so let's see how fast the drop is gonna be. But what we could witness here is a back test here before another leg up. SOFI is looking pretty good for that daily chart. Break, reversal. Yeah, reversal was confirmed back here. Higher low, back up, higher low, continuation. Daily is not overbought, slow grind up. I like this kind of RSI. There is a whole lot more room to move. What we could be seeing is, you know, once we back test, this could just really pop into new all-time high, making it the daily overbought before coming back down. So there is big potential on SOFI. Really like the chart. Next is BNGO. Whew, thank God we saw BNGO, hey? It's kind of interesting because we bought it on the open of Tuesday, and it held up. There's lower wicks. We saw lots of buying pressure. 15 minutes. So we bought the open on BNGO and then came back down. We saw lots of buying pressure. The next day opened up and it was a sell off, but then we saw a continued buying pressure there. But where the red flag came in from is this slow sell off, every single pop getting sold off into. So we popped here, sold off, gapped up, sold off. We popped here, not really popped, but we bought up here and then double top. That was key. Double top and then started selling off again. So that was a major red flag for me. So then from there, when we saw a 15-minute trend change, that's when we exited. Thank God we did. Earnings, gap down, sell off, and from here, what could happen is a immediate back test of this long term, short term, because there's a wedge inside the wedge, short term wedge, upper trend line back test before an actual move up. I do anticipate, because we did break over that short term upper trend line, ultimately I do anticipate that we will be seeing higher prices to come. Earnings did stall a little bit, 21%, 1 cent lower, and it's not that big of a deal, when I look at it. So let's see what the next. I'm gonna have to put an alert on this key zone. So if we do get a back test, I'm also gonna put an alert over here. Probably over here. Yeah, that makes sense. When you set your alerts, try to set it where support resistance also are, so that makes a little bit more sense. So the reason why I set it here is once it breaks, if it does break down over here, I will start watching it closely. And then if it does get that touch and start showing signs of reversal, I will enter. Might not get right on the trend line, it'll be ultimately becoming 530 again. And then the other reason why I set it up here is if we start seeing reversal right away here, coming into Monday, Tuesday, without touching this, without triggering this lower trend line, the lower alert, ultimately this is where the support resistances were, multiple support resistances. So if we break over this again, I will be entering. Same idea as how we entered on Tuesday morning on the open. Right, so that's SOFI. Let's speed this up a little bit. Quite a few more tickers I wanted to cover. RCL we did, CCL, similar idea, but it did not break a key trend line. The key trend line is still coming up. We are stalling at that. Ooh, a very nice volume though. We are stalling at that key zone. Multiple previous support resistances, so we are stalling over there. Gap left behind, a little bit of a concern. There is still a trend line ahead, so in the sense, in comparison to RCL and AC, there is a lot more resistances up ahead versus the other two, so it's not gonna be as nice to play. Next is AAL. Whew. What a god damn. We played this from back here on Monday. It's my only trade on Monday. Played it on the break over that 88. Saw continuation. Sold it on Thursday. And then look what happened on Friday. So this was, we were playing options. So 7%, but the option went up, I think it was 30 or 40%. It was a leap year. $20 call. And Friday, god damn, just gapped up and saw some selling pressure, but it got bought up. So saw some selling pressure, it got bought up, but we are seeing a stall at that key resistance. I had the mark at 22-ish. So anticipation, depending on what Monday looks like, if there's a follow through on this, I would anticipate a gap fill. Back test this previous resistance key zone before an actual breakup. That's AAL. Next is Apple. A lot of people are watching Apple, and the chart is not really speaking to me. Very similar chart No, scratch that. Not a similar chart. So I was looking at potential of a GP touch. Would be the most ideal entry. Ended up being a previous resistance line. 1, 2. Oh. 3? Yeah. 3 rejections. Previous resistance line, back test, and it just started going. But the chart is still not really speaking to me. The reason being, when I look at this chart, I played Apple before multiple times, and from my understanding, generally after dividend dates, it tends to sell off a little bit, except the last one that we tried playing. It did sell off very, very minorly on that last dividend, ex-dividend. And this one, look at this one, is sold off almost 7%, 6.5% before a bounce. And then this one again marked the top, and it sold off 15%. So I want to see what happens. So Friday was ex-dividend. Let's see what happens on Monday. Oh, there's a lot of key things to watch for on Monday, hey? Or am I just saying that too much? Dividend before. So this is the dividend before. We did see a pop the next day. Might be news. Likely news, because it was a gap up and sell off. It did sell off a little bit, but sort of chopped around, so that doesn't really count. This one, even in the momentum of popping and new all-time highs, okay, ex-dividend date, we still see sell off before continuation. So that brings me to think that, you know, Monday, Tuesday, we should see at least 2 days of selling off, increasing bear volume. Yeah, would anticipate somewhat of a daily higher low to be set. Anyways, it is one of my top charts, so we'll be watching this. It's gonna be interesting to see. It is just a theory on those ex-dividend date theory, I guess. Next is gonna be AMD, new all-time highs. Actually, since we're discussing both AMD and NVDA, one thing that you could have played is SOXL. Look at this. So double bottom, 3650-ish. So 3657, 3647, around that GP, right around where that support is. What an amazing spot for an entry. Even if you bought 2 days later, you know, there's the inside bar. Next day is complete bull break. You bought, let's say you bought late at the end of the day. That is still a 52% move. This is a 3 times leveraged semiconductor bulls. What an amazing move so far. Closing 48% higher. Wow. SOXL is going to continue to be on top watch just because AMD and NVIDIA, they're both in blue skies continuation. And the next one is going to be, we're going to run through these next ones relatively quickly. Top watches for junior names, that growth names that has very nice potential. So we played this back here on this break, and it saw nice continuation, and now it's a daily trend reversal, daily higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low on the GP, and continuation onto higher high. Now we're looking at a higher low to be set here on FSL. Same idea with QS. Yeah, higher high after this break of the trend line, back test, higher high, higher low. This higher low was a little bit interesting because it did get to the 0.786 instead of holding the GP. And then it was a slow move, but 50-some% again. 50% 0.2. And we're looking at a daily higher low to be set from here. So those are the 2 top growth names that I'll be watching. The other meme one that I'll be watching is GME. Is looking like a potential daily bull flag. Low bear volume, looks amazing. We'll be entering some calls on GME. A lot of calls likely because the The implied volatility, the IV has spiked already from this move. This move alone was a 53% move. It has spiked the IV. We need another 2 to 3 more days to cool it off. Gonna be watching what happens at the touch of the daily 8. But decreasing bear volume earnings coming up on November 23rd. So still some time away. I do believe this is gonna be another big move coming up on GME. Long-term wedge bull break finally confirmation. And it's not like the last time where it's, you know, immediately gap down back into the wedge. So this is a lot different. GME on my top chart already. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoy the content. If you know anyone who can benefit from our videos, please do consider sharing our channel. And the other thing, to remind you guys that 250 subscriber, there will be a very nice giveaway. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next video.